At the beginning of the movie, we meet a woman from Bethlehem who shares that she had been so consumed with work that she neglected her daughter, but now she plans to make things right. After this scene cuts, we are introduced to a strange virtual environment where we hear many voices, but the purpose of it remains unclear. Next, we are introduced to Heidi and her colleague employees at a company called Wonderland. They are watching a screen that shows Bailey at an airport. A passenger sits next to Bailey, sparking a conversation. After hearing her flight announcement, she leaves the airport. Later, we see Bailey in a desert, where she's working as an archaeologist. She calls her mother, who is with Bailey's daughter. Bailey's daughter is upset because Bailey left without saying anything and had been gone for many days. The scene cuts, and we shift to a new one featuring an astronaut. This astronaut communicates with a woman named Jianjin via satellite from space. Jianjin is his girlfriend, and he deeply cares for her, even reminding her of her medications and daily routines. Jianjin, in turn, loves him dearly. She works as a flight attendant and has had many suitors, but she has rejected them all, waiting for her boyfriend's return to Earth. The scene changes again, showing the astronaut in a hospital. We learn that he had fallen into a coma due to an accident. The biggest revelation comes here. The Jianjin we've seen interacting with her astronaut boyfriend isn't talking to the real person but an AI version of him. The twist is that Wonderland, where Heidi works, creates AI versions of people who are either deceased or in a coma, allowing their families to feel comforted by communicating with them. People talk to these AI versions through video calls, believing they are speaking to their loved ones, and many don't even know the truth. Jianjin, unable to cope with her boyfriend's coma, had an AI version of him created by Heidi. This AI perfectly mimics his personality and habits, giving Jianjin the illusion that her boyfriend is still with her. Before creating an AI variant, most people obtain their own AI to ensure it accurately resembles them. However, since the astronaut had fallen into a coma, Jianjin created his own profile. In the movie, whenever she interacted with the astronaut's AI variant, he appeared via satellite. Meanwhile, at Wonderland, we see Heidi and her colleague designing a new character. The order to create this AI was given by the astronaut's grandmother. After developing the character, they provided the elderly lady with a demonstration. In the demo, the AI character conversed with her as if he were her real grandson, which brought her to tears. Heidi then explained to the grandmother that Wonderland offers everything one might want for their loved ones, such as clothes, cars, and other items. Hearing this, the grandmother purchased some clothes for the new AI character. After completing their work, Heidi and her colleague went out for lunch. During their outing, Heidi received a call from her parents, who were always concerned about her because she had not yet decided to get married. Fed up with her parents' constant inquiries, which were also affecting her work, Heidi's colleague decided to pose as her fake boyfriend. Subsequently, we see the four of them having dinner together, but this time Heidi's parents joined via video call. The scene then shifts to Jianjin, who receives good news from the hospital that her boyfriend has regained consciousness. Having awakened from his coma, Jianjin's happiness seems boundless. She no longer needed her boyfriend's AI variant, so she deactivated it. Jianjin then brings him home, and gradually, he begins to recover and return to his usual routine. Meanwhile, Heidi meets the grandmother who had the AI variant of her grandson created. The grandmother was now managing two jobs because her grandson's AI variant was handling much of the business for her. Heidi suspected there might be a system issue, but the grandmother explained that her real grandson was similarly demanding. This was why the AI variant also required the same from her. The scene transitions to Bailey, who is talking to her mother. Bailey offers her mother a scarf, but her mother refuses, seemingly angry with her. It is then revealed that Bailey's mother is terminating the Wonderland service. A significant truth is unveiled. The Bailey we saw earlier, interacting with her daughter and mother, was also an AI variant. In reality, Bailey had already passed away. The confession heard at the beginning of the movie was Bailey's own. Bailey had subscribed to Wonderland so that even after her death, her daughter wouldn't feel her absence. The scene shifts to the virtual world of Wonderland, showing Bailey. Behind her is the same person seen with Bailey at the airport. In this virtual system, Bailey shares her problem with a boy, explaining that her mother hasn't been receiving her calls for days. She tells the boy, "I think this isn't true." During their conversation, someone calls the boy sitting in front of Bailey, causing him to leave. We discover that the boy was actually called by Hyrie in the real world. This reveals that even living humans can have Wonderland AI variants. This boy himself had an AI variant so he could enter Wonderland because he loved Bailey deeply and wanted to live with her. The only way he could stay with Bailey was by joining Wonderland. Meanwhile, Jong-in notices that after coming out of the coma, her boyfriend's behavior has become strange. He no longer takes care of her as before, has started partying, and has grown distant. He had become accustomed to his AI variant boyfriend, who used to wake him up, remind him to take medicine, and take care of him. Growing tired of this, he reactivates his AI variant. Simultaneously, we see Bailey's daughter answering her phone. Bailey speaks to her daughter, telling her she will be home in a few days. Upon hearing this, the grandmother arrives, takes the phone from the child's hand, and disconnects Bailey's call. She didn't want her granddaughter to hold on to false hope, knowing that Bailey could never return. Therefore, she decided to take her daughter to her village to keep her busy with cousins and help her cope with missing her mother. Bailey hears this in the virtual world, and immediately, her virtual environment ignites. In anger, we see the AI variant of the young child created by her grandmother. She is informed that her subscription is ending and that she will be deleted from the AI world because her grandmother, for whom she was created, is no longer alive. Meanwhile, Jong-in's boyfriend discovers that she has lost interest in him and has started interacting with her AI variant. We are then shown Bailey again. Bailey's daughter calls her from the airport to talk, but before she can respond, her grandmother takes the phone and in anger, runs away with her granddaughter, who gets lost at the airport. Bailey already knew something was wrong and was desperate to find her daughter at any cost. So, she took her car and roamed around the world of Wonderland. It is revealed that Bailey is a character within Wonderland who doesn't realize her true nature. She believes she is a real human being. This is why she wanted to go to the airport to find her daughter. As a result, Bailey becomes an AI that humans can no longer control, including by Guinea Hyde and Wonderland. Unintentionally, Bailey began hacking other people's AI variants. She wanted to escape to the real world to find her daughter, but it was impossible. In her virtual world, mountains were crumbling, fires were blazing, and obstacles continued to block her path. This indicated that the Wonderland system was being hacked. Bailey broke through the firewall and entered the core of the Wonderland operating system. It was at this point that Bailey realized she was just an AI program. Meanwhile, in the real world, Hyde and his team were scrambling to reset the entire system, fearing that Bailey could cause extensive damage. As they reset the system, Hyde saw Bailey on the screen and felt like she was trying to communicate. For a brief moment, Hyde allowed Bailey access to the system. Once Bailey had control, she reached the virtual airport where her daughter had been lost. By hacking the phones of everyone present at the airport, she managed to find her daughter with the help of Jong, her boyfriend. After reuniting with her daughter, Bailey stopped interfering with the system. Knowing that she was an AI variant, Bailey wanted to tell her daughter the truth. She explained that she wasn't a real person and could never return home. Her daughter, understanding the situation, responded, "If you can't come here, at least I can connect with you in this virtual world. The way we are talking now, we can always talk like this, right?" Bailey's daughter, along with her grandmother, agreed to this arrangement. The grandmother had once tried to shut down Bailey's system but now accepted the situation. In Wonderland's office, Hyde successfully reset the entire system, including Bailey. Her life in the virtual world restarted, and she found herself back at the airport where she was at the beginning of the movie. However, this time, Bailey didn't remember anything from her previous existence. She met the same passenger at the airport, but the twist was that the passenger remembered everything. Unlike Bailey, he hadn't been reset and was still outside Hyde's control. On the other side, we see Jong-in and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was deeply upset, but Jong-in suddenly hugged him from behind. She had come to terms with the fact that her boyfriend was a living human, not an AI program to fulfill her every need. She realized she would have to accept him as he was and start their relationship anew. The astronaut also reflected on his past mistakes and was determined to live a better life moving forward. In the end, Jong-in deleted her AI variant, bringing the movie's story to a close.